So, update 37 is finally here, and I can tell you right off the bat that this update is one of the best ones in a very long time, and in this video we're gonna take a quick glance over some of the amazing changes in this update. The biggest news of course is the paragon, but we'll get to that soon. Starting off, we have a couple of new trophy store items, and the most notable of which of course being the new Swedish flag for the village. And by the way, this update was released on the 7th of June, which is the day after the Swedish National Day, where you raise the flag, sing the anthem and have some food and drinks outside under the flag. There is no way that this is a coincidence. Ninja Kiwi must have planned the release date for this update to drop around the National Day. Very cool, Ninja Kiwi, very cool. There is also a new sauda skin that you can see on the screen right now, and I'm honestly not a huge fan of most skins in the game. I think that the originals are often better than the alternatives, but this is one of the few skins that I do like, so nice job on this one. There is also a new map called Erosion and some new quests. And there's going to be boss events where you want to beat the boss using as few tiers as possible on your towers and also as little cash as possible. So some brand new boss challenges for the leaderboards, which sounds very cool. There's also a new avatar that you get for supporting a creator. If you enter a creator's code in the settings and make a purchase in the store, you get this avatar. And I would like to say thank you to everyone who has chosen to use my code. I appreciate you all very much. Ninja Kiwi is giving away some cool merch as they are celebrating 5 years of BTD6, so head over to their Twitter and follow them there to get involved in the giveaway. And now I want to mention some changes to free play. This YouTube channel is the one that focuses the most on free play, and in this update Ninja Kiwi has made some great changes for all the free play lovers. If you pause the game, you can see this accessibility button. Pressing it will bring you to a slider that changes the size of all projectiles. If you slide it down to 0%, they all disappear. Disabling projectiles is something that has been requested for quite a while, but Ninja Kiwi did us one better and gave us a slider, which is just awesome. A lot better than an on-off toggle. But keep in mind that this will not prevent lag when going into super late game or when playing bosses. You see, the lag comes from the calculations the computer has to do with all the projectiles, where they are traveling and the damage that they do. The lag does not come from the rendering of the projectiles that makes them visible, but rather the raw calculations, as Ninja Kiwi also pointed out in their post, as many who requested the feature thought that it would reduce the lag. The point of this feature is simply to make it cleaner so you can see what's going on when you have a ton of towers in super late game or boss fights. Thank you very much to Ninja Kiwi for adding this feature. In your profile, they renamed some stats related to late game and grouped them together, so now it looks like this. The speed and HP ramping remains the same for free play, but the speed at which the number of bloons increase per round has been lowered, making free play just a little bit easier. They also fixed a bunch of crashes and small bugs and also changed the summary screen to now display your actual pop count, and what used to be called just pop count is now called damage count. So every damage point to a Moab gets counted to the total damage, while just the actual pops of layers gets counted to the actual pop count. As for the paragon, the Magus Perfectus is amazing. The visual design is awesome, and the way the paragon works is that it has a graveyard property that fills up graveyard mana when the paragon is in recharge mode. You can toggle this mode on and off with this button here whenever you like, or you can just AFK since it will automatically switch between the two modes when the wizard runs out of mana or reaches the maximum of 100k. When the paragon is in recharge mode, he does very little damage with his draining beam, and the Dark Phoenix turns grey and does not attack at all. Thankfully, the wizard recharges very fast. When not in recharge mode, the Dark Phoenix attacks by spewing fire attacks towards the target, as well as sending out purple lava balls in all directions, and the wizard himself attacks using an arcane spike. He also has two abilities. The first one is the Phoenix Explosion, which consumes the entire graveyard and sets all bloons on screen on fire for 30 seconds, and also spawns one zombie ZOMG for every 9000 mana consumed, which eventually turns into BFBs and then disappears. The second ability is the Arcane Metamorphosis, which combines the Dark Phoenix and the Wizard into one and the same being and does crazy damage using its Flame Cascade attack. Check it out on a fortified bad on round 140 using just the degree 1 paragon. It consumes all mana and lasts longer the more mana you have upon activation. Even if you have full mana, it still doesn't last very long, and the cooldown for the ability is super long, because the ability is just that strong. I can't wait to see this be used in the later tiers on bosses. This paragon is just so perfect. It delivers for both the laid-back gamers and the hardcore micro players, which is just what Ninja Kiwi was going for. It also incorporates all the 3 paths, which a lot of people like to see, and as mentioned, the visual design is great, so just an overall fantastic paragon. Lastly, we have the tower specific fixes and balance changes. I won't go over every single one, but I'll mention some of the more interesting changes, and then I'm gonna get started on making all of the individual videos that will take a closer look on all of the major changes as well as the new paragon. As for tower bug fixes, the 2 most important ones are these. The first makes sure that the Navarch always buffs the Doom ship as intended, and the second one fixes the problem that caused the NG Paragon to lose its self-overclocking attack speed bonus for 1 round when you load back into a save. And now for the balance changes. The Boomerang Paragon knockback has been reduced from 3 to 1. The Ice Monkey's lower tiers is no longer as useful against ceramics. The tier 4 top path Glue Gunner now also create puddles just like the tier 5. The Cripple Moab got a damage increase so big that it can now destroy Moabs in 1 hit all the way up to round 100. The top path Buccaneer got a big rework with a lot of changes that we will go over in detail in another video, but the main thing is that it can now also shoot grape shots from the airplanes. The Ninja Paragon now does extra damage against camo bloons and gives all towers camo detection, and also instead of just applying the 50% Grand Sabo slowdown passively, it now also causes all Moab class balloons to spawn with 25% less HP passively, just like the Grand Sabo ability, which makes the Grand Sabo useless once you get the Paragon since the 2 don't stack. The only possible use of the Grand Sabo at this point would be the ability that buffs other shinobis. In update 35, Super Mines got a big number of buffs, and one of them was the increase of damage over time. It got doubled from 500 to 1000, and in this update it got increased further to 2500, and I can't wait to test this one out. The Monkeyopolis income formula now has a $2,500 base income as a minimum. There were a lot of other balance changes, but I'll leave it to you to read them on your own. The link to the update notes will be in the description. And also, one more thing that they included in the update notes were some key content for future updates. Update 38 will bring a new boss called Phase, and Update 39 will bring a map editor so we can create our own maps. And Update 40 will bring the Submarine Paragon, and BTD6 will also release on Xbox and PlayStation in a couple of months. That's gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna get straight into playing some games to test out all the new fun stuff in this update, so expect to see a lot of videos from me in the next couple of days. And again, big congrats to Ninja Kiwi for delivering possibly their best update yet. And thanks to all of you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.